Another question that we've gotten at the beginning of the summer is how Schoology connects to Skyward as far as grades go. And I want to start off by clarifying that Skyward only connects to Schoology via the secondary gradebook right now. Schoology is working with Skyward to get it so that for the elementary with the standards-based report card with the events, that it would still be able to transfer things into it. But as of right now, that functionality is not available. So this would be geared more towards secondary teachers, but to see how this kind of connects with any course that is in Schoology, you're going to see a Skyward button on the left side of your screen. And if you try to click on it with a course that you generate yourself, you're just going to get an error message because your course isn't connected to Skyward. But in this case, I'm using a course that's connected to Skyward. And essentially what we have to do is you're going to click on the Skyward button at the beginning of the year, and then you're going to see a button that says Sync Grades, and then there's a configuration button. So right now I'm on this configuration button, and essentially what I had to do was I had to identify that, alright, these were my categories pulled from Skyward. They'll show up automatically. And then what I have to do is basically tell Schoology that I want a category in Schoology that matches what I had in Skyward. So what I could do, like in this case it's already set up, but I could tell Schoology to create a new category that's named the exact same thing as Skyward, or I could basically type it in myself. Alright, so the weights and the categories were basically pulled from Skyward. I just had to do this last column, and I had to go down and I had to hit save. And essentially what you have to do is you have to set this up for every class period that you're teaching, if you're teaching multiple of the same subject or course, so that way it knows whenever you're doing something, these are the categories. And then what you'll have to do is you're going to have to go back to specific materials. So if you create an assignment, you're going to have to go into the settings for that assignment, and then you're going to have to just choose whichever of these Skyward grading categories make the most sense for that particular assignment. And once you do that, Schoology knows where it would place this if you in fact did sync your work. We have it set up so that it's only going to sync when you tell it to sync, and it's not going to automatically put everything that you grade in the gradebook. But when you're ready to get to the point where you want to start syncing things, what you're going to do is you're going to click the Skyward button in your Schoology course, and it's going to take you to the Sync Grades button. And then essentially what you're going to do is you're going to just find the assignment name or whatever that you want to move over to Skyward, and you're just going to hit this arrow to force it to sync. And when I say that it's going to sync, it's actually going to create the assignment in Skyward for you and put the scores in for the students. So you're not going to have to worry about copying scores or getting some sort of keyboard combination to make sure that things are copying and pasting correctly. This is physically making the assignment in Skyward and putting the grade in for you. And then also note that the due date that you put in Schoology is the order that it's going to put it in Skyward. If you do not attach a due date to an assignment in Schoology, your grade in Skyward is going to be moved to the end of the grading period. So just be careful with that, and we're going to talk about this more at the beginning of the school year, but this can be a little preview as to what's going to be coming.